Every person should become endlessly fascinated with what makes people rich and what makes people poor. And yes, my friend, today we're talking about investing, even if it means you're investing something as small as a $10 bill. I know what you're thinking. Oh, that is such a small amount of money. Could I really invest that seriously? Well, if you're serious about making money, yes. And if you are serious about making money, you clicked on the right video. I did not come from a rich family. I didn't come from a poor family. I came from a middle-class, struggling family. And you know what middle class really does mean? Poor. Because the middle class and technically poor people do something very, very different than the wealthy. For example, most people, meaning the middle class and poor people, like to work hard for their money, and then, at the end of the day, they go buy stuff. If they're not buying stuff like expensive clothes and more dog toys, they're buying liabilities like, oh, I'm going to pay every month for my phone and my Netflix, and I got to pay for my credit cards, and I got to cover my rent. This will keep you locked in a cycle. The cycle referred to as the rat race, and there's only one way to break the cycle. You have to be able to learn how to invest. And I know what you're thinking. I will invest if I have a lot of money. When I finally work hard enough and I save money, I'll invest that. I get it, and I have been there. But listen up. You are becoming, right now in this moment, a person based on today's choices, which means that if you're not investing today, then you're not becoming someone who will invest tomorrow. When I was in college and I got my first full-time job and I saw how little money I made, that is when I became aware that the choices I was making right then and there were either going to make me middle-class poor or they were going to make me rich. And you know there's something that wealthy or even financially savvy people do. Do you know what it is? They invest. They buy things that make them money. For example, here's the definition of an investment. An investment is an asset, by the way, not a liability, something that costs you money, or item acquired with the goal of generating income or appreciating. Appreciating means I buy it, and then with time, it becomes more valuable. Or if I buy it on a regular basis, it actually gives me something back. It gives me money. In time, it actually pays for itself. So at the end of the day, rich people work hard to invest their money and have it make them money. Poor people work hard to just blow it on things that don't make them anything. Many times they buy things that they hope will impress people they don't even know. I learned at a really young age that even when I was poor, I still had a little bit of money, and I could invest it and turn it into something. Which is why today I want to show you different investments on how you can take $10, something really small, and actually turn it into something more. Because I think the habit and the pattern will get you to think a different way, wire your brain a different way, and it only becomes a matter of time before small investments become big investments. You know, technically, an asset really is something that you buy once, but then it continues to make you money. It pays for itself over and over again, like a vending machine. Once a vending machine is paid for and it's stocked, it's like a money printing machine. Or there are people that buy things like real estate. Those are obviously really big investments, but they sometimes don't require a lot of money down. And of course, you've got storefronts. They are businesses, or a car wash, which would be like having a really big vending machine. So today, there's a lot of things that you could be investing in. Let's talk about 5 really simple things that you could do with $10. While some investments require a lot of money, there are some that just don't require a whole lot. And one of those is cryptocurrency. Now, there's a lot of cryptocurrencies out there. I know you've heard about them, but the most famous one is Bitcoin. And did you know that even though a Bitcoin might sell for $40,000 or $60,000 or whatever the price is right now, you can buy a little piece of a Bitcoin? You could buy $10 worth of a Bitcoin. Yes, this investment is highly speculative. And you shouldn't put all of your money into cryptocurrency, but a lot of people believe that cryptocurrency is eventually the future. And as a result, we've seen the Bitcoin price skyrocket. Bitcoin's been highly volatile, but guess what? For people that got in early, they've been making a ton of money. Speaking of stocks, what about investing in stocks? Doesn't that require a lot of money? Not necessarily. You can literally start investing for as little as $10. There are companies out there now like Acorns, for example, that let you decide how much you want to invest every week, starting with $5 a week. You can pick the stocks you want to own or pick a mutual fund. Then you can choose to put more in anytime you want to, like when you get a bonus or when you've sold something you don't need anymore on Facebook Marketplace. So don't count yourself out of investing in the stock market. Nowadays, everybody's telling you you need a website. You can't do anything without a website. But you know what? If you want a website, you need a domain name, and you know what? They cost a little bit of money. You can go on to GoDaddy.com or one of the other hosting sites, and you can search for a website. And did you know that you can buy a domain for sometimes as little as $10? And here's the thing. Yeah, you could use the website and do something with it, but a lot of people just buy websites and they hold on to them and allow them to go up in value. I have a buddy, he just goes and buys up all these domains that he thinks are popular, and in time someone's going to want them. They're good, simple, trendy types of titles. And you know what? All the .coms are pretty much used up, but not .usa or .net or .whatever. And so people will spend $10, they'll buy a website, and eventually someone might come knocking and say, "Hey, can I buy that for a lot more money than you paid?" Listen, at this point, if you're still watching the video, you're thinking, okay, when I get money, I got to stop putting it towards my bills. I got to put it to work. People say that if I put enough money to work, someday I don't need to work, like literally it will work for me. Yes, your money will work for you if you put it to work correctly. Now for the fourth way, you can invest as little as $10, real estate. Of course, you're thinking you need a whole lot more than $10 to invest in real estate, but it's not true. Have you ever heard of crowdfunding? Here's the definition. Crowdfunding is the use of small amounts of capital from a large number of individuals to finance a new business venture. This is treated almost like buying stock, and there are many companies out there now that offer you a piece of the real estate pie for as little as $10 to start. Before I tell you about number 5, please consider subscribing to my channel. I will continue to bring you life-transformative information every week for free. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Moving on. Now I will be talking about number 5, education. Yeah, something as simple as getting a book. And I want to ask you a question. If you had a chance, for example, to buy a book on making money, no matter what it's about, that someone has dedicated their entire life to learning about and mastering, and you can acquire all that knowledge for as little as $10, would you buy it? That's what I call a bargain. In fact, a lot of the money I have, I can tie directly to books that I read, like Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich, Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Millionaire Next Door, The Biology of Belief, The Richest Man in Babylon. There are so many books out there that have contributed to me becoming the person that I am today. I want to advise that you consider in your life reading at least 1 or 2 books every single month. Take a person's life's work and consume it in a matter of hours. Because guess what? I feel like that's one of the coolest hacks for sucking the best knowledge out of someone's brain. And if you read one little book and it gives you $1 million idea or even $100 idea, $100 idea is 10 times return on the money that you invested in the book. This is how anyone becomes wealthy. They start with something small, like $10, and then you invest it, and you learn how to turn it into $100. And then one of 2 things is going to happen. You're either going to say, hey, I'm going to go spend that $100 on something that'll never make me money, or I'm going to do it again. I'm going to take that $100 and I'm going to learn how to turn that into $1,000. And if you can take that and turn it into $1,000, then $10,000, and then you turn it into $100,000. Before you know it, you've made $1 million. Like one of the richest individuals in the world, Bill Gates, the guy that dropped out of Harvard. Ultimately, you want to take a small amount of money and roll it forward so that you can do something a little bit more serious, like start a small business. There are many different businesses that can be started for literally less than $1,000, and these things can produce $1,000 every single week. But a business sometimes requires a little bit of work, a little bit of elbow grease. So, if you do nothing with the business, you'd make nothing. But I also know other people that are making thousands of dollars every single week. It is amazing how easy it is to make money if you can shift from a consumer that just blows their money to an investor that says, I'm going to be smart, I'm going to be intelligent, I'm not going to put all my eggs in one basket, I'm going to put my money in several different places. And when you get really good at the game, you're looking for what's called asymmetric investments. It means when you put your money out there, you have a very low downside and you have a really high upside. That's what the most successful investors do. Now, if you honestly don't have that $10 to start some type of investing, then you need the next video. How to make money. 11 skills to master. Go ahead and click on this one now and let's build big money.